Some key terms you'll want to remember when learning to complete the square is a perfect square trinomial, which is a trinomial where the first and last terms are positive perfect squares, and the middle term is twice the product of the square roots of the first and last term. The second term is completing the square, which is the process of adding a constant, c, to the expression x squared plus bx to make it a perfect square trinomial. The third term is factoring. To factor a number means to break it up into numbers that can be multiplied together to get the original number. When you're completing the square, the first thing that you want to do is make your problem the exact same as the model that they give you for completion of the square, which is x squared plus 2hx plus h squared. So the first thing we want to do is to pull out this 2 out of this entire equation so that that x squared is alone, just like in the model equation. So let's do the next thing we want to do is find h, and according to the model equation, h equals 7 divided by the 2 in the model equation. So h equals 7 divided by 2, or 7/2, which means h squared equals 49 over 4. So now what we'll be doing is rewriting the entire equation, but this time including the h squared from our original model equation. This will help us create the perfect square trinomial. Now that we have our perfect square trinomial, we can simplify by factoring. (49) divided by 4 equals 12.25. If we add 5.5 to that equals negative 6.75. For our final step, we'll simply combine like terms, 5.5 and negative 12.25, and there's our answer. So our final answer will look like this. One common mistake that students often make is forgetting to pull out the coefficient in front of x squared. If you don't do this, your answer will become completely wrong. They'll just leave it like this and find h. What you should do is pull out the 2. Another common mistake that students will make when completing the square is when they're rewriting the equation with the h squared in it, they'll forget to keep the 7 at the end. So they'll write it like this. Like that. What you should do is write it like this. Another common mistake that students will often make while solving for x by completing the square is when they get down to this part in the equation, they'll try and FOIL the x plus 1, which will really just take them all the way back up to here. So what you should do is when you get x plus 1 squared, you need to take the square root of both sides. So you can get x plus 1 equals I square root 6. And then subtract the 1. So x equals -1 plus or minus I square root 6.